Okay, this video is going to be something super basic, of course. So, a lot of people are wondering, when they chant, using the Sam Pa, is that really all that there is? So, let me just go over like two different variations of that. So, if you're just holding a drone, you want to know what key signature you're in. So, remember, to find the Pa, what do you have to do? If you want to do something really basic, say your C is your tonic note. So you want to find your Pa to that. If you count all the keys within that key signature, you know it's going to be the fifth key away. That's why they call it the first and the fifth. So if it's a key of C, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you'll be holding these two for a drone. Okay, so that's the C and the G, which is your Sa and Pa in that key signature. But if you want to play in a different key signature, and you don't know what keys you don't know the notes that are in that scale degree, you just got to count a certain amount of semi-steps up. So, for instance, we know which is Sa and Pa for here, which is C and G. But say you play in a different key, B flat, and you don't know what this would be, and you want to sing in this tune for whatever reason, you'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So seven half steps up, semitones up, you're going to get to that Pa. So let's just pick something random. Let me pick the C sharp. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is your Sa and Pa for C sharp. Let's pick B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd be your Sa and Pa. So now you have two ways you could play that. Okay, you could either just hold Sa and Pa. You could hold the Pa, you could keep it right where it normally is, or you could put that on the low end, which is if you take this, what is this? This is an F sharp, and you move it down to here, and you hold this, you're putting your Pa over here, but it's still Sa and Pa. So now you have the lower end. Now you have it, the regular one, which is, this is for a B, Sa, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, this is your Pa. So you have these two choices to play in. Now if you notice what Indian musicians do, they do play chords, but it's not the mathematical equations that the Westerns figured out. So if you want to sing all through your whole scale, which is holding Sa and Pa, this is only half your scale, right? So this would be from the low end to your middle, and then your middle to the middle, which would be here. Or you could go from your middle to your high. So the thing that usually Indian musicians do, they'll hold their Pa in the lower octave and the middle octave. So the way that looks is pretty simple. So let's, just for argument's sake, let's go back to the C scale. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have these notes in here. Remember, if you don't know the notes in that scale degree, you count seven semitones up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it gives you the same exact thing. So now, if you want to play from your lowest register with the Pa to the highest, you have to see, okay, now I have a G in the middle octave. Now I'm going to have to hold the G in the lower octave. So the thing that you're going to do is you're going to hold your Sa where it is, and you're going to hold your Pa in the lower octave and the middle octave. So now when you drone, you have all this room to go from your lowest to your comfortable high range. So now instead of just being here, we're here. Now you're going to hold the Sa where it is, and the Pa in the middle, and the lower one. See, that sounds a lot fuller. Plus, you have a whole lot more to move around with modulating your voice. So instead of going here, just hold the two Pas down, and here's your Sa. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. So this is another way to drone that we haven't talked about. But this is actually, if you see traditional Hindustani Indian musicians that play the harmonium, a lot of times when they're throwing in the drone, they're going to be hitting 3 notes at one time, which is not a chord, but they hold 2 Pas. So You got your sa, you got the lower octave for the pa, and the middle octave. So this is another way you could hold a drone and venture with your voice going to your lower note register to your middle register. Okay, so hopefully this is food for thought, and this is another way you could start droning. So this is another way you could practice. And remember, a lot of times it's easy too just to come up with a melody with your voice than it is on a harmonium. So a lot of times practicing, you could just hold a drone and chant, and whatever you end up feeling and whatever is being expressed from the deepest of your soul, just keep that in tune and sometimes the best thing to do is record it. And if you like that melody, then you can start to figure out the melody, and then you can start to figure out the chords. So this is another way you can practice. So remember, in the beginning, don't get too crazy at trying to learn all the technical things, because that comes with time. But the most important thing is chanting. So the easiest thing you could do is hold the drone and just chant. Once you start playing and getting your fingering movements down and exercises and your chords, starting to know where to move, that all comes with time. But remember, this is all, you're doing this for the right reason. So just enjoy it and love what you're doing. Don't be too hard on yourself. Everything comes with time. If you put the time into it, there's no way but getting good at it. All right? But remember, do this with love. That's the most important thing. Okay? Jai Ma.